Is From Russia with Love my favorite movie of all time? No, of course not. But it is my favorite Bond movie. But I must admit, there is some stiff competition with On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Goldfinger, and Casino Royale waiting in the wings. Ian Fleming once remarked that he set out to write the ultimate spy novel with Casino Royale. Most critics, however, think he did that with From Russia with Love, including President John F. Kennedy. So, is From Russia with Love my favorite Bond book as well? No. I much prefer On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Dr. No, and Moonraker, but everyone has their favorites. In both the book and the film, we have Istanbul, the Orient Express, a stolen cipher machine, a beautiful Russian spy, a dashing secret agent, and the ruthless villain stalking them both. It is, with apologies to Somerset Maugham, a summing up, as it were, of all that had gone before in popular British spy fiction. From John Buchan to Graham Greene to Eric Ambler, and even Sax Rohmer and Arthur Conan Doyle as early practitioners, Fleming distilled the essence of all that had gone before and transformed the genre. I'm excluding the works of Len Deighton and John le Carré as they rose to prominence later. And that leads us to that other great master of spy fiction, Alfred Hitchcock. The helicopter attack in this film is clearly inspired by the crop duster sequence in North by Northwest, but still manages some tight quarter thrills of its own. There are also faint echoes of the hilltop chase in the 39 Steps, as both sequences were shot in the Scottish Highlands. And that brings us to the highlight of the film, which is, of course, the famous fight aboard the Orient Express between Bond and Red Grant. Now, modern audiences may feel that fight as a little tame, but back then, it was pretty exciting, even shocking. The film is also a series of firsts. We get the first pre-title sequence, and while it's short on action, it's long on intrigue. We get the first Bond gadget, again, one grounded in a plausible reality. And we get Desmond Llewellyn's introduction as Q. And then there is the hat trick, which is given an emotional farewell in the sixth film in the series, On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I get misty just thinking about it. Time to talk about the actors. First and foremost, of course, is Sean Connery, and the stories about his casting and his transformation into the character are well known. With the toupees and the eyebrows, a stylized image was created, and with the wardrobe and accoutrement, the character took shape. But Connery gave it life. He injected himself into the character, as all good actors do. If you look over the span of his career, you realize that for him, James Bond was just another costume to wear. Robert Shaw is great as the psychotic assassin Red Grant, and the movie was a major boost in his career. He's ice cold and methodical as he stalks Bond throughout the movie. But then, when he's finally got him cornered, he lets us see the class resentment underneath in venomous little hisses. Lotte Lenya, who is a big star in European theater, finds international fame as Rosa Klebb, a Russian Smersh Apparatchik, who, while now working for Spectre and Ernst Stavro Blofeld, is really the true villain of the film. Diana Bianchi is certainly beautiful as the Russian cipher clerk used as bait to lure Bond into Spectre's trap, but she also brings a real human, even playful warmth to the part. Pedro Armendáriz, as Kerim Bey, is the warmest of all of Bond's allies. The man simply lights up a room. Quite remarkable when you consider he was dying of cancer at the time. For me, it was the sexiest movie I'd ever seen. In fact, the entire movie's about sex. Sex is the key to the plot. It's not about stealing nukes or spaceships. It's about seducing Bond and killing him. And that's up close and personal. And that is why it's my favorite Bond film. See you around the campus.